Dormammu, I've come to bargain.
Hi!
Hello! Hi!
Hello!
Hi everyone, Isaiah and Marielle here, and for today we are gonna be talking about Doctor Strange.
Yeah! It just came out in the Philippines a few days ago and it's about to come in the States, but we already watched it.
And so this gives us an advantage to upload a video about it, to say our thoughts and how we think about it ahead of time. So that's good.
Just a little warning, if you haven't seen it yet, there's gonna be a lot of spoilers up ahead.
So go ahead, click away now, we will give you some time. First of all, let's talk about Benedict Cumberbatch, our leading actor in the movie.
He was an amazing actor.
I really like the fact that he was able to portray a character that was kind of different from his other characters in a way that he was a sorcerer who was wise, and at the same time he was funny, even though he portrayed a character that had kind of a leadership role wherein you would look up to him, but at the same time he had some funny scenes, with Wong talking about his name, Adele, and Beyonce, and Eminem. That part was really funny. Everyone in the cinema laughed during that part, especially when Wong was listening to the Beyonce song. That was really funny. The next thing we want to talk about were the visual effects of the movie. It's nothing like we've ever seen in any other Marvel movie. It was crazy. It was like kaleidoscope vision and all these parts where you thought you were high, these buildings folding on each other, and then during this part where the Ancient One was showing Doctor Strange that he knew nothing, like Jon Snow. He was flying through the universe and all these colors and these hands crawling on him. That was really crazy.
The movie was so adventurous because it was able to introduce the multiverse and the mystical side of Marvel, but was still able to ground itself really well because of Doctor Strange's relationship with Christine Palmer. That little watch was cute too. Even though it was broken, Doctor Strange still wore it even at the end of the movie.
Next, let's talk about the Eye of Agamotto. I really like how they use the Eye of Agamotto out of all the relics that Doctor Strange has, because that's probably his most popular one and one of his most powerful ones. In the comics, the Eye of Agamotto is not an Infinity Stone, but I like the fact that they made it an Infinity Stone in the movie to tie this movie into the Infinity War that's coming up. And so Doctor Strange's movie will be a part of a bigger universe because of the Infinity War and the fact that he has his own Infinity Stone in his possession. And so it's really interesting how we're gonna see if, how is Thanos gonna get that Infinity Stone? How is he even gonna get the one on Vision's forehead? We're gonna see, and that's gonna be really, really exciting. One thing that caused the fuss, even before this movie was released, was the Ancient One. Everyone was like, why isn't the Ancient One a Chinese old man? Why is it a white woman? Yeah, we know that the racial problems of this movie was already addressed before, and they explained why, but it doesn't change the fact that it's still kind of weird that the Ancient One wasn't a really old Chinese guy.
But I really liked Tilda Swinton's performance. She really portrayed a character that was mysterious and caring and merciless but kind at the same time.
Okay, next, let's talk about the villain. You know how they say heroes are only as good as their villains when it comes to storytelling. So in this movie, the main villain was this master sorcerer named Caecilius. For me, it wasn't really that special in terms of his motives were kind of similar to other supervillains. Let's talk about Loki, for example. He wanted to rule the world because he thought that he could rule the world better. Well, he wanted to show his dad that he could be a king, but he still told Thor that, these humans, they cannot rule themselves, I can rule them better, blah, 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 blah. And then Ultron wanted to destroy the world because he thought the world was flawed, and so he could create the world in a better way, right? So it's kind of similar. And then Apocalypse, though he's not from a Marvel Studios movie, still a Marvel character, he wanted to recreate the world in a way that he knew he could make it better. So he's kind of like Loki and Ultron at the same time. And Caecilius, he knew he could make the world better using his own ideals, even though it would harm other people in the process. So I think this antagonist wasn't really a big villain because they're just really setting up Doctor Strange's universe. He's kind of like a mini boss, and Mordo and Dormammu are probably gonna be one of the big bosses and when Doctor Strange returns, and we don't know what movie, there's no movie announced. And yeah, this movie's just an origin story anyway, so they didn't want to show the big guns yet. Caecilius is probably just like a secondary supervillain.
Let's talk about Dormammu! When I first heard of the name Dormammu, I thought it was a big giant teddy bear.
Why?
Dormammu.
Why?
I can imagine a little kid saying, Dormammu, Dormammu.
What? He sounds like a Pokemon. Dormammu, Dormammu. I think that they made Dormammu.
Dormammu.
I think they made Dormammu too much like Galactus in this movie, but it was good. I just think that he was underpowered. He wasn't so powerful. Well, they said he was, but they didn't really show it, you know, because Doctor Strange was like, maybe I could defeat them using this one method, and then it worked right away. What? Wow, this all-powerful entity was able to be fooled by this mortal in his first idea? That's kind of weird.
But it could have been necessary.
Yeah, that's right. I mean, let's face it, his scene with Dormammu was unexpected. And everyone kind of loved it because it was goofy and it was funny and it was like,
you're amazing, Doctor Strange!
Okay, next thing we're gonna talk about will come with a final warning because there's a major spoiler up ahead. It is the after credits scene, so if you're still here, get out. The after credits scene involves Doctor Strange talking to Thor, so what did you think about Thor?
It was very surprising to see Thor because many people were speculating that it would be Iron Man who would appear in the end credits.
Yeah, I read online that people thought Iron Man would appear, you know, recruiting Doctor Strange in the team and stuff like that. But I think Marvel is past that part where they're recruiting the team, and because you know that was still a setup for Avengers, but that's all done now. And I think it's just really funny to see Thor in his civilian attire again, just like we saw him when he was with his roommate, the Daryl guy. So what do you guys think this means for Doctor Strange and Thor?
Will we see them fighting side by side in Thor Ragnarok? If not, what do you think?
Last thing I want to talk about was the end credit scene after that end credit scene. Well, there's two end credit scenes, so stay till the very end. It's about Mordo. He finally becomes a villain. So they show Mordo becoming evil because he felt betrayed by the Ancient One, because you know the Ancient One lied to him his whole life. Most of us knew that Mordo would become evil since, you know, he's the nemesis of Doctor Strange.
I really feel bad for the paralyzed guy.
Who, by the way, was the guy who was in the experimental armor during Iron Man 2, if you guys remember that. So they really linked it together. Doctor Strange's car accident happened simultaneously with Iron Man 2, so that's pretty cool.
Yeah, why would Mordo do that to a paralyzed guy? It's the only thing he does with his powers and he's gonna take it away.
I felt so bad when he fell on the ground. He had no more powers, he was like this. Why are you doing this?
Too many sorcerers.
Such awesome.
Very wow.
Okay, so that's it for this video, guys. That's all we could say about Doctor Strange. All in all, it was a really good movie. One of the best solo Marvel movies out there.
We rated 8.5 marbles out of 10 marbles.
Marvels, what?
Marvels.
So what do you guys think about Doctor Strange? Did you watch it? Did you like it? Leave your comments and thoughts about it in the comment section down below, and we will read it and we will respond as soon as we can. Why am I doing this? Okay, that's it. Subscribe for more videos about life,
love,
movies, and video games. See you next time, guys.
Bye.
We successfully crossed the Brooklyn Bridge by foot from end to end. It was very tiring because it was super hot. Wow, model!